Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Awesome, awesome. We are live. We are live. We are live. Now I'm about to get ready to play the first two tracks and then we can start with the show. So bear with me in just a moment. And I apologize for being a little late. I wanted to start it a little earlier, but it is what it is. So let's go. What's up, everyone? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is Transitions Reveal Mini Mix Series. I happen to be House Head Speaks. I am your host and DJ for this evening, and what we do here, I mainly demonstrate and show you how I approach transitioning different genres of music. I gotta do one quick thing, and I will be back in two shakes. Okay, I am back. I apologize for that. Um, a little late start, but that's okay. Long as you start, that's what matters. Now, if you're new to this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can know when I am doing another transition series. And today, not only I am live here on YouTube, you can also check me out on Twitch and also Kick. This is the very first time that I'm actually multi-streaming my transition series. I usually do it just on YouTube, but I decided to broaden my audience a bit and hit a couple more, hit extra platforms, and especially the ones that I am familiar with. If you're familiar with me on Twitch, then you know that I frequently do various rate chains there, and I have a show that I do there every Monday, which will start back in September. If you're new to Kick, I am also. So for everyone who's checking me out on Quick Kick, thank you so much. For those who checking me out on Twitch, I appreciate the support, and of course all my YouTubers who have subscribed my channel already. Thank you so much. Now today, where I am going to approach Afro House mixing, using the genre of Afro House. Now, this is one of my, I would say, go-to genres. If I have to pick my top five genres that I enjoy playing, Afro House is definitely one of them. Now, for those who don't know what Afro House is, I'm going to read a little bit of information that I pulled from Chat GBT. The rest of the information will be posted in the subscription box below on my YouTube channel. So let me make sure that I have the mic so everybody can hear me. So what is Afro House? Okay, Afro House is a subgenre of house music, that combines deep house rhythms with African music elements, including tribal percussions, native chants, and melodic progressions, and soulful vocals. It often features rich organic instrumentation like drums, marimbas. I hope I'm saying that right for all my African peeps that's checking me out, and flutes, and draws influence from Afrobeat, traditional African folk, and modern electronic elements. Now, the key traits of Afro House is rhythmic and progressive, melodic and soulful, deep and atmospheric, and cultural fusion. Now, I won't break down the key traits here. Like I said, everything else will be posted on the description box below so you can check it out for yourself. Now, the reason why I enjoy playing Afro beats is because number one, it's from Africa. Okay, I mean, it's part of my even though I am African American, and most of everything revolves around African American because I happen to be born and bred, and all my ancestors are from this country. But if you trace back to the motherland, we do have traits there. As a matter of fact, my dad's African trait is from what they call the Watusi tribe, which everyone from that tribe is extremely tall. I mean, my dad and my two uncles is over 6 feet. So, you know, that tells the tale of everything. Also, if you heard of the African gentleman by the name of DJ producer by the name of Black Coffee, I would say he was the ones that really brought Afro House into the forefront, into the mainstream. Because when I heard Afro House, he was one of the producers that I heard from when regarding Afro House. Of course, there's been Afro house DJs that have played, has been DJs producers that have played Afro House since that time. Dave Morales, Louis Vega, Timmy Register, Saliva Commandos, Doug Gomez, and the list goes on and on. I mean, there's been producers who probably, you know, Afro House is not their main genre of producing, but have probably produced certain have went to that scale to produce maybe a couple of Afro, house tracks. DJ Spin comes to mind. He has dabbled in Afro House as well. Also, Anane, she has a label called Lunu, which mainly is Afro House influence. So, just to give you a background on, Alpha House and how it's progressed from then to now. So, now, since we got that out of the way, okay, so like I said, since we got out of the way, let's get to where we came from. How I approach Afro House jams. Now, I usually I usually play Afro House at 125 BPM, but I have spoken to DJs, especially one whose crew I'm part of, told me that most Afro Afro house producers usually scale it back to at least 120, 122, 123, 124. So for today, you know, all the tracks that I'm going to be playing, we're going to keep it at 124 BPM. So we're not going to go any lower than that. We're definitely not going to go to my usual 125. We're just going to keep everything at 124. Now, before I forget, the first track that I played was called Silent. Hold on, let me make sure that I can actually give you. Okay. Yes, the first track is that I played called Silent, and it's by More Francisco Colinano. I think that's spelled C. Make sure I get my volume up. Cerilliello. And the second one is called, I think it's Evel. It's spelled Eveyl, and that's by. I'll just spell the the first. Oh, I'm sorry. It's by Magic Beats. So that that's the two tracks that I start out with. Now the now we're gonna move forward. The first track that I'm going to start my transition in is called. Yes, it's called Isla. That's Izitha, and that is by Lizard slash Soul Man. And the track that I'm going to transition to is called Tamaluku, and that is by Jazua. Hope I'm saying that right. But anywho, I am going to turn down my volume, and then we're gonna get to it. Okay, now you saw what I did. I hope you saw what I did. Now, usually when you're playing Afro tracks, you definitely want to make sure that when you're getting your beat matches and all that stuff set up and put together, you're making sure that you're listening to the rhythm, and also making certain that you're definitely on time and on beat, because let me show myself. Because with this particular genre, there's a lot of different elements that's going on. There's a lot of different, you have your beats, you have your hi-hats, you have your drums, then you have the percussion. So you have a lot of things going on when it comes to Afro House. So it behooves you to make sure that, when you're approaching Afro House, make sure that you're listening to the actual tracks from start to finish. And that's with any track that you purchase. Make sure you listen to it from start to finish so you can know where to start your transition. That's number one. And number two, make sure that you position the second track precise, because if you don't do that, then your whole transition can to get out of whack. And also, three, make sure that you're making your small adjustments. You're going to probably have to move your jaw reels. Probably have to tug on the jogs a little bit just to make sure that you get that phrasing, going on, and then you can be able to proceed with your transition. So that's how that's how you should approach not just Afro house music, but any particular style or genre of music that you are approaching when it comes to transitions. Because transitioning is all about approach. Period. It's all about your approach and how you approach to it. It's all about how you making sure that you are lining things up the way it should be, so you can have a smooth transition. Now, okay. Now the next track I'm going to start with is called Cigarra by Jazz Louie, and from before. And then the second track is called Kula by Frank Ruse. Now, just to let you know, these tracks that I'm playing, these are latest tracks. I pulled these from I think Track Source or Beatport, I forgot which one. But these are all new tracks. So these are tracks that I have never played before, and it's all released. So if you can go to either Track Source or Beatport, you can find these tracks for yourself and add them to your library. I mean, I don't mind, DJs telling DJs the tracks here, because, in order for you to get familiar with this style, you have to know what tracks to play for this style. So that's my approach to it. So let me go ahead and turn the volume down, and let's get to it. Now, one of the great things about playing Afro House that's that that's thrilling for me is because it gets you going, it gets the juices flowing. So I enjoy playing this particular genre a lot because once you get that, once that rhythm and the beats, gets all up in you, you can't help but to move and dance and feel good. It's to me, you know, other than soulful house, to me, Afro house is one of those feel good music that you cannot help but to get on the dance floor. You just can't. That it does something to you. That's all I gotta say. It does something to you. So, let me go to the next few tracks here, so we can keep this baby going. Oh man, I got 30 more minutes. I'm probably gonna go up to at least 45, and then I'm going to, yes, today I will be doing a 6-track mini mix. I know it's been a while since I did one, but I am gonna do one today to close things out. So the first track is called Rise and Shine. It's an Afro blues mix. That's going to be interesting. By DJ Mike Brown and along with Oscar P. And the track I'm going to be transitioning to is called Stuck in Masa, or Masi. It's spelled Masai. I hope, and that's by DJ Dendoc. DJ Dendoc. Okay, so I'm gonna lower the volume here, and then we're gonna get to it.
Coming quick, fast, in a hurry. So
I love that one. Wow, that was some good transition. It's always good to know that one of the tracks has a vocal influence and the other track has a instrumental influence. That's I always try to search for tracks that one is vocal and one is non-vocal, because sometimes when you're trying to play vocal with vocal, it's kind of clashes, and at times when you're trying to play one instrumental and another instrumental, there's no I would say there's sometimes there's no substance behind it. You're just hitting a long instrumental, so you want to try to make sure you have some variety when you're doing your transitions. So always try to make sure when you choose your music, make sure you try to choose as many vocal type tracks, as well, as much as instrumental. Now, don't get me wrong. I love playing instrumental. I love playing instrumental tracks because I'm a person who blends long. So instrumental tracks allows me to do that. But also, I like vocal tracks because, say, for instance, I have a long instrumental track, and then I have a track that's not too long, but is vocal heavy. I can always combine that two and make it into make it harmonic. Let's put it this way, make it harmonic. Whew, almost wasn't able to get that out. Okay, I think I'm gonna have two more tracks before I start my mini mix. So I'm gonna make sure I get that set up here for you. I hope everybody is enjoying their Saturday. I know I am. But as I repeat again, I'll probably repeat this again before I end. If you want to catch this transition series, like I said, it's every third Saturday, and it starts at noon Central Time. That's 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's always live. And like I said, I do all my broadcasts on YouTube, but you can also check me out on Twitch and also Kick, because I will be adding those platforms as well to broadcast my my transition series. So, okay. Now, the like I said, this is probably gonna be my last two tracks before I start my mini mix. So the first track is called Ujola by Christoph's Focus. That's Fourkis. And as a matter of fact, I'm doing two tracks by the same producer. This is called Focus Call by the same producer, Christoph's Focus. So let me lower the volume here. We're gonna get to it. Okay, okay. Now, like I said, we're about to get ready to. I hope I. Yes, I did. Good. Now, we're about to get ready to do my 6-track mini mix. Now, for those who've been here the first time, each and every time I do a transition, I always do a 6-track mini mix. So what I do is I just, mix in 6 tracks to transition by, and then once I do that, then that'll be it for me. But I hope you got, like I said, if you missed the show, it will be on YouTube, so you can see the post. If you're on Kick, it will also be on Kick, so it'll be saved on Kick. And of course, if you're on Twitch, then you will have to go to YouTube to check out the repost. So that's how that's done. So we're gonna start out with Dreaming. This is a David Morales remix. It's by Amir Brooks. And we're going to transition to the second track, which is called Right by Alex Wan. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything ready. I'm going to turn the volume down, and this is the 6-track mini mix. Let's go.
Go off tonight, clear your mind.
Wow, it's been a while since I did one of these mini mixes, and I had to do it on this particular genre because, like I said, this is one of my favorite genres to do on. So I'm glad everyone was here. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for those who joined into the chat, all the lurkers and workers out there. Thank you, Twitch and Kick, as well as YouTube for your platforms for being able to present my transition series to you guys. Again, you can check me out every third Saturday at 12 p.m. Central Time. That's 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It's always live. It's always an hour. And I'm always trying to show my fellow DJs, whether it's you new, whether you're upcoming, whether if you're doing this for a hobby or you're doing this to try to land your next gig or your first gig, or if you're a pro and you just want to get a little fresher course, or if you're a DJ that was out of the game for a while and you're trying to start back in, please tell everybody about these series. As a matter of fact, I post all my transition series. They're always on YouTube. There is a playlist on the transition series, so you can see all my transition series there. Like I said, I'm going to leave this out here. Thank you so much again. I appreciate it. You can find me on any of my social medias. All you have to do is search House Head Speaks, and you will find me. I thank you again. I'm going to sign off right now. This is House Head Speaks, coming to you, and hope to see you on the next transition series. And as always, peace and love.